Hi there, welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. This is Jordan Carlisle alongside Cammy Willis.
Hello.
And James Black.
Hello.
And we're on the verge of the big one. So we're going to preview the League Cup final here against Celtic at Hampden. What's our thoughts ahead of this one?
Nervous.
Nervy?
Nervous.
Confident and nervy?
You
Or
have to be confident.
just nervous?
It's no fun. You're always confident. You have to just always give at least the aura of confidence and no fun. But I'm so nervous. Honestly, I'm like, don't know how it's going to go.
James?
I'm quietly confident. I think that this is the one that if there's going to be one where they overturn this one of garbage results against them, this is it.
I mean, this could be their 10th domestic trophy in the bounce, you know.
Yeah.
The meltdown's
Something that
going
needs
to
to
be
be stopped at
amazing.
some point.
They're on good form as well. So we're on good form too, though. So it's going.
Form goes out the
it's a
window with
big
old form
clash.
games. You go into these, I've seen it a million times before, you go into these games where one team's playing great, the other team's not that brilliant, and then they're the ones that win it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put much weight into
I think
just now.
I think on that though, I think both teams are going to show up. I think it's not going to be a case that you often get in Old Firm games, particularly in the Scottish Premiership, where one side doesn't show up and has an off day. I'm relatively certain that both sides are going to show up for this. I think it's going to be a really, really entertaining game of football, and I think it's going to be close. I mean, I'd love it if we won.
I think it really helps that a lot of this squad has been here, they've experienced most of this before. Right? They've not been to a final, but they've had games at Hampden, they've had Old Firms, they've had kind of that big pressure, they've had the pressure of the Europa League games as well. So I don't think that they're going to go to Hampden and be faced quite as much as other teams have in recent years. And you've seen it with Mark Warburton's team the first time, they went to kind of look a bit caught in the headlights and didn't go brilliantly. Now this side look a lot more kind of composed and just a lot more prepared for the challenge that's going to come for them.
Well, I actually thought in the Hearts game in the semi-final, I thought we looked nervous.
Yeah, first 45,
or even first half an hour, and then started really banging on the door. But I think now that's out of the way, that's hopefully a good sign. But on that note, you're saying about Davis, how important are those guys, your Davises and your McGregors going into this? The only guys in the squad who have been there and done this sort of thing before.
Massive, huge, absolutely huge. There'll be Davis has been on such good form all season, and he'll be a central player. If we're to win this, he'll have to be on the top of his game, and I think he will be. You know what I mean? He's so mature and controlled and composed. They two guys are going to be massive. You know what I mean? Don't bet against McGregor pulling off like another amazing stop. You know, you can't. They two guys are huge. They've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and if we're to win it, they'll have a huge role to play in it.
And then after, obviously, disappointment in September, where, you know, a lot of the blame went on to Gerrard, and I'm not sure if he would admit it himself now, but that was probably the most glaring error he's probably made tactically, I think, maybe since he's been in the role, not going with wingers against a couple of green fullbacks and that sort of stuff. So what do you think the plan is going into this?
I think they're just going to I think it'll look much more like the European games. I think they're going to be much more pragmatic. I'm sure I said this before Feyenoord last week. Be much more pragmatic, and they'll not be as necessarily gung-ho and attacking as they tend to be in most domestic games. But I actually think that's where we're stronger at times, especially against teams who are kind of a similar level to us. I think we're much more comfortable just letting them play in front of us and then taking our chances rather than trying to take the game to them. I do think sometimes that, as much as I'm a huge fan of the midfield three we've got, they're not always the most energetic. Ryan Jack's everywhere. Davis can kind of hustle. He's not lazy, but he's not got the same engine that he had a decade ago. And Glenn Kamara's not the most physical. So going into that kind of game and trying to front them up doesn't always suit us.
I think you're right. I think take them European games into consideration. I think that if you look at how we've managed to perform in them, I think it will be very similar to that. And I think them three midfielders will be the starters. I think that's the strongest midfield. I think, and if you're talking about the team, I think that they'll keep the same kind of back five that we've had for how many games in a row now? Like
I think that's 9 now.
Yeah.
After Hearts, and we just mentioned at this point that, you know, still got to play Aberdeen at this stage at the time of recording, but 9 I think after Hearts with the same back four.
Yeah, and so you'll keep that. You'll go with them that three in midfield, because they have been so strong, so consistent. They're all very, very good footballers, really good ball players, like good at passing the ball in between each other. And then up front Morelos, I think he could have dropped Morelos again.
If that happens, I think there might be riots in the ground pre-game.
He starts Defoe starting.
Yeah.
I can't see. It's got to be Morelos this time round.
Absolutely.
It's got to be nailed on.
That's
And then Kent on the left, he loves playing Celtic. He's one of the players that terrifies them, So I think I was seeing on Twitter, I never watched the Celtic game the weekend there, but they were talking about that Frimpong, who's been being bigged up in that by support. But apparently he had a bit of a torrid time up at Ross County. So if he
that's handy timing.
Yeah, so I mean, if you had Kent against him, maybe that'd be the thing. Because this is Kent's game. He really relishes
he loves
this
it,
game,
doesn't he?
and he's playing really, really well at the minute as well. He's coming on to a game, scoring goals, becoming a difference maker for Rangers, not just a player that's picking the ball up in the middle of the pitch and then dribbling forward and moving it on. He's driving at goal, and Gerrard's giving him a wee bit more of a free roll off that left hand side. So I think he'll be there, and then it's like who starts on the right is the big one.
Well, isn't that so last year, isn't it the real turning point? Old Firm win at Ibrox. Scott Arfield was excellent and did a number on Scott Brown, didn't he? He was all over him in the game.
Dropping off that right wing, kind of man marking him kind of thing.
And then he obviously scored in the second win when it was April, May at Ibrox. Arfield scored there.
He's a big Old Firm player as well.
So
Arfield.
that's the question. Do you forget about the form? And obviously, Gerrard's come out and said that he's battling some issues off the field, which I don't know if that's going to play into selection. It didn't against Hearts. He played.
I thought he played well against Hearts.
But he's now not scored in 22 games. So can you justify picking a guy on the right side in that attacking role who's struggled to offer that? And if not, is Shea Ojo a better choice?
I think with Arfield, if there was a view to starting them against Celtic, I think would have played there against Hearts. Against Hearts, he's kind of much more central, and you can have Joe Rebo playing that kind of more advanced wide role.
I think he's an outside bet to start.
And I think you might be right that Rebo's possibly been given that chance against Hearts to kind of show what he can do there.
I thought he was alright as well. He had good movement stuff, but it's a completely different challenge against Celtic.
That would also.
He didn't show up at Ibrox, so it's a hard choice. That's the only position that I think that just about every single Rangers fan couldn't pick.
Does Gerrard throw one of these two curveballs for that position and bring either Greg Stewart or Jordan Jones back in?
I don't think he'd bring Jordan Jones back in with no game time. I just
still got Aberdeen on Wednesday to come. I mean, if he gives them even half an hour against Aberdeen.
It's a good shout because I think maybe in that situation be more kind of ready to kind of spring load them off the bench, for the kind of last 20 minutes, half an hour.
Impact. The thing with, as you're saying about Rebo, it was on the left he played, wasn't it? In that advanced role at Ibrox earlier in the season, and he really looked pretty lost there. Although one thing I would say is different now to what happened then is he had John Flanagan as his overlapping fullback in that game who offered nothing to a guy who was happy to cut inside.
Yesterday they actually seemed to have quite a good link up down the right with Tavernier, Arfield and Rebo. And with Rebo coming inside, you got much more with having that attacking fullback going up the outside him, which you're going to expect that Barisic would do similar on the left hand side.
I mean, Barisic and Kent, that side looks so strong just now. It looks really, really strong. I mean, even yesterday Barisic is playing, he's kind of juggling the ball over people's heads and stuff. He was playing with real confidence.
I think that's now 16 games in a row he's played at left back, which is mental.
He's becoming one of our kind of prime assets, you know what I mean? So I don't think he'll upset that. I think it'll be Barisic and Kent.
Yeah,
and Kent's obviously come into the game as well, so I think it'll stay there. Tavernier's looked kind of more robust as well in recent games. I think he's kind of woke up with the criticism. I think, see when you touched on Scott Arfield and him potentially starting, I think with Gerrard's kind of man management, or at least management of the press and supporters, needs to be credited here, because see with Tavernier, when he was going through a rough patch, Gerrard came out and said something, and when he came out and said something, it created that dialogue and a conversation about it, which I think began to change people's attitude to him. And since then, Tavernier has matured as a defender, I think, and isn't taking as many risks, and has came back more robustly. And I think hopefully something similar happens with Scott Arfield, because he says it before the Hearts game. He came in against Hearts and Arfield worked his socks off. Maybe this is a precursor to Arfield coming in for that game. I don't know, but it is a position that is there for someone to grab.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove, who do you pick?
so hard, man. It is.
Gonna shirk this one.
You have to
I don't
pick a
know.
name.
I don't know.
That's tough. I do not. I don't.
And up for it, Scott Arfield.
I think Scott Arfield is best. Yes, I'm not sure about. I still haven't been convinced. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not convinced about Ojo in a game this size. Aribo, based on the fact that when he played in the left advance role, he struggled the last time. I think that would also be a risk. I really like the look of Greg Stewart, but it's a small sample size, so I think you get him G'd up and you let Scott Arfield go and atone for some bad form.
I want Greg Stewart to start. I think Greg Stewart probably makes the most sense just in terms of being on form and he's double against Hearts. I think it's going to be Ojo.
I think so. Might be. See,
Well, that's a chance.
Ojo's
isn't
quality though. Like, you know, you can shoot. You've seen it against like Feyenoord and stuff. It just always seems to be when something goes wrong, suddenly mountains start getting made of molehills and things start getting worse, and it begins to snowball, and his attitude begins to get progressively worse in a game. He's like the kind of player that needs to start well.
I think his decision making is poor. That's the real issue, isn't it? And then the end product is questionable.
I think given his age and what have you, that's one of these things that it comes with experience. 12 months ago, folk were sitting having the exact same conversation about Morelos and his attitude and his discipline and everything else that comes with that. And I mean, we've seen it now. It's night and day, absolutely night and day between the guy. I think Ojo's probably just a similar place where he lacks that bit of maturity both as a footballer and probably as a person, just where he kind of knows when to buckle down and knows when he can kind of slack off a bit. So, but I
think it'll be him.
I think it'll be him.
Okay.
I think when you look back at Gerrard's selections in big games, he always seems to put his faith into him.
He does. He puts his faith in him. So.
Okay, so that's our 11 vaguely. Predictions. What do you think? You're thinking goals. You're thinking KG European tie.
Oh,
I think goals. I think goals.
No, it's one goal on it.
You think so?
I think
I think it's going to be explosive. I think that it's going to be. I think both teams are going to show up for it. I think there's going to be nerves. I don't think that it's going to be this kind of tactical and kind of slow thing. I think it's just going to be all out. I think it's.
Right, stop Saul. What is it? What's the score?
I'm going to say, I'll say 2-1 Rangers. Go.
Okay.
1-0 Rangers.
1-0 Rangers. I'm going to go 2-1 after extra time.
I'm just hoping we avoid the Willie Collum show.
Yeah, let's pray for that.
That's another thing, isn't it? The referee. Jesus, now we spoke about that.
Willie Collum in an Old Firm game at Hampden. What could possibly go wrong with that?
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't play too big a role and we get a bit of silverware in the cabinet after a long, long wait.
Hopefully next time that we're on your screens, we'll be celebrating.
Okay.
Sober.